Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a little bit of a different movie. So far all the movies I've talked about have been big blockbusters, big franchises, and this one I wanted to talk about just because we don't get a lot of movies like this nowadays. And that is The Tender Bar.
Hey, whose kid is that?
My sister's.
Which sister? The hot one or the crazy one?
What, do you want to die? Okay, two rules. I'm never going to let you win. And I'm going to always tell you the truth. Your father is deadbeat. I'll take care of you. Teach you the male sciences. It's all you need.
On Amazon Prime. I love movies like this. Movies like, just name a few top of my head. Peanut Butter Falcon is another one. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Movies like that. There's those feel-good movies, you know? And this was one of them I want to talk about because I like movies like this, and two, it just ain't getting a lot of attention. It ain't getting a lot of buzz, and I'm not one of those film critics, one of those people where it's like, I watch artsy-fartsy films. It's like, no, I just like a good movie. And a movie like this is a good movie to me. And it's not necessarily getting... I haven't heard anything about this. Like, this movie came out, what, a few weeks ago? And I haven't heard anything. Like, nobody's talking about this movie. Nobody's praising this movie. At least I haven't. In my little corner of movie world, I haven't heard anybody talk about this movie. So I thought, I'm going to make a little video on it, talk about why I love this movie, why I love movies like this, and why we should get movies like this going forward. And maybe people out there have never heard of this movie or haven't really gotten interested in this movie can watch this and be like, hey, I'm going to go check the movie out, and we can get more movies like this. So, The Tender Bar. This is kind of a hard movie to really explain what it's about. But to give you like the basic general synopsis, it's about this kid named JR and his mom. His deadbeat dad, who works at a radio station, left them, and so his mom and him, as a little kid, move back to his grandpa's, and it's kind of just a coming of age story of JR, where he, you know, his father figure, played by Ben Affleck, he's mentoring him, kind of being his father figure. Charlie, he works at a bar. He works at the bar in the local town. He kind of takes him there, shows him the ropes, kind of becomes a father figure to him. And then just JR kind of just starts loving everybody. He just kind of falls in love with this dysfunctional family. All his aunts and his uncles and his grandpa even. He falls in love with it. Even though his mom doesn't want it because she thinks she's a failure and she thinks she's, you know... it's embarrassing to live at home, so she doesn't want to live there, but JR loves it. And so it's kind of like that. You just see JR's life growing up, to teenager, to an adult, to everything. You just kind of see the life of JR, really. And it's a really good story. Honestly, the acting's really great. Even in the young JR and the older JR, they're both great. The acting in this movie is really great, honestly. I don't know, like I said, it's just one of those movies, it's just a feel-good movie. You know, it's not dull, it's not boring, it's just a movie, you just kind of, you feel good after watching it. You're like, alright, I feel good about myself after watching this. So, I mean, there's nothing I really disliked about this movie, other than the only thing I really didn't dislike, the only thing I really disliked was the relationship between JR and Sydney. There's a character in the movie named Sydney where he meets at Yale, and their relationship kind of works fast. Like, it's very much thrown into it. They're together. All right, let's, you know. So it was a little, but I understood what they were trying to say and what they were trying to do with the character of Sydney and JR's relationship. But it was just more of a. It was kind of rushed. But outside of that, honestly, directing by George Clooney. Yeah, it's directed by the myth, the man, the legend, George Clooney. It's directed by George Clooney, and he did I've never seen any other work if he has directed anything else. This is the first movie I've seen that I know that he's directed. And I think he did a really good job. If he's directed other movies, I'd have to look that up, but this is the first movie I've seen that he's actually directed a movie. He did really great. Like I said, I can't... it's one of those movies, honestly, just everything's good about it. Everything's good about it. The acting's good, the story's good, everything about it's good. And even the soundtrack. I like the soundtrack because, like, I love this time period, the 60s going on. I think it's 60s and the 70s. 60s and the 70s is the time period we're in, and I love that time period, to the music, to the cars, to the dress, to just everything about the 60s and the 70s I fucking love. So, yeah, can't praise this movie enough. We need more movies like this. If you haven't seen... I mentioned it earlier. If you haven't seen The Peanut Butter Falcon, by all means, do yourself a favor. Go watch that movie. It's a really good, feel-good movie. And this is too. definitely check out both movies, The Tender Bar and Peanut Butter Falcon. But yeah, I can't praise this movie enough, honestly. It's really good to me, and I want movies like this going forward. I know Ben Affleck has stated multiple times that we're going to get big blockbusters in cinemas and then smaller movies on streaming, which I do agree with. I think that's the way theaters and movie making is going to go. But still, even when movies like this are on streaming or in theaters, by all means, go check them out. Movies like this are awesome. So, you guys let me know what you think down below. If you have seen The Tender Bar and you love it, let me know what you think of the movie down below. And if you haven't seen the movie, by all means, go watch the movie and come back and tell me what your thoughts on The Tender Bar is. So, and as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.